This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, Tans is in the building, Loud is back, Aspas is wearing blue, hoodies are everywhere. It's pandemonium in the streets here in California, and it's pandemonium here at the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles, California. Of course, I'm Golden Boy here, joined once again by Mimi, once again by Ender. No, we did not get fired from yesterday. We still retained our employment.
We're not allowed to make jokes today, though. No jokes.
No jokes.
Let's keep it serious. Let's keep it professional.
I've never made a joke ever in my life.
That's good.
Let's go. That was a joke in of itself. I already lied. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday, because we started things off hot. We had some NA versus Brazil feuds happening in real time. And even though it was the NA teams that came out on top, I think there were a lot of positives at the very least to be able to take away from these squads in their first bouts.
The talk of the day was Demon One's debut with the new squad. But for me, the day was taken by Ethan. He had an incredible performance as an IGL. Really didn't skip a beat from champs last year, and they ended up taking that one home in pretty convincing fashion, which then brought us to a game that a lot of people thought would be one-sided, but I think MIBR really pushed it to Cloud9.
Yeah, especially GZZ coming online in the last couple of maps after a very rough map number 1, taking it the whole way. Although I must say, I love a good chill as much as the next person.
Look at this guy, by the way.
Yeah, Oxy was absolutely
he was
dominating.
the star of the show. At a certain point, you know, like we were excited, oh, Demon One, oh man, but then Oxy was just like, hold up.
No, literally. I was
hold my chocolate milk.
I came into that second series and I'm like, oh, you know, we're playing the Sky again. I'm starting to get a little bit disappointed. It's not so fun. And then all of a sudden on the last map, we get that Gecko back and Opsy's getting double aces. Like, that woke me up right at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was awesome to see our teams finally back here playing again, doing the thing that we all love. And on top of that, very entertaining. Good news is there's so much more to come. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket and where we are right now. So no surprise based on the results yesterday, NRG will be facing off against Cloud9. That is going to be a very exciting game. But the matches that we will be paying attention to here today is going to be Loud versus Sentinels and Leviathan taking on 100 Thieves. This is essentially the Clout battle of all Clout battles, like across the board. All 4 teams, which that's great. We love Clout.
Yeah, this is the best day of the weekend. If you're going to watch Valorant this weekend, it is these 2 matches today. It doesn't get better.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mimi, to bring you in on this, okay?
Please.
How much do you enjoy the Cloud?
You set that up like it was going to be the only serious question you've ever asked. How much do I enjoy it? I enjoy it a lot.
Yes, there it is.
There's my thorough
pointed analysis from an award winner. In any case, so a new year of competition could mean a brand new meta. And here is what the pros think we'll be seeing here at Kickoff.
Tiveram muitas mudanças nessa gente, né? Eu acho que a Digiloki teve muitas melhoras, o Gecko também teve muitas melhoras, a Sky recebeu muitos ajustes, né? Vamos deixarlo por aí. E eu acho que isso está indicando que o meta quizás está se mexendo mais para o lado do Gecko, mais para o lado da Digiloki, mais para esses lados. Coisa que estou gostando muito, mas tem que ver o que os times vão trazer, né?
Eu acho que a maior mudança que vai ter mais impacto no meta do jogo vai ser a da Sky, pelo fato do pássaro dela não ter mais cooldown, e acho que vai mudar bastante e acaba limitando um pouco o jogo do iniciador. Eu acho que agora vai ser meio que inviável você usar ela de solo iniciador.
Creo que va a entrar más Caio, Gecko, Faye, van a entrar otros personajes que pueden ayudar más, tal vez como se jugaba antes que saliera la Sky, se juega Soban, Vine. Y yo creo que va a ser así un poco que las composiciones van a cambiar.
Strategically speaking, with those nerfs, I think the game has become like gamble more, because you need to gamble that if the enemy team is there or not, so you need to refight it, you need to use your tool for it. But it's fine, it's how I'm used to it since League, you know, patch changes, the meta changes, and as a player you need to be capable of adapting to it.
I think Gecko, a lot of teams are, you know, kind of realizing how good it could be, but it's not like an easy agent to use. I think it has a high skill ceiling. So if you have someone that could be really good on Gecko, they're probably going to be, pretty dangerous.
Eu acho que uma mudança que foi muito positiva, pra mim, pelo menos, que joga de Sentinela, foi o buff do Cypher, da Trap. Acho que ele tá sendo muito mais usado agora do que era antes. E também um pouquinho o nerf da Killjoy, porque eu acho que balanceia um pouquinho mais o agente, né? Que tava sendo muito usado antigamente. Acho que agora tá tendo mais balanceamento entre os Sentinelas.
Com certeza, eu acho que tanto o Wise quanto a Deadlock vão aparecer, porque o meta tá em mudança e eu acho que foram agentes também que vêm para fazer bastante diferença. O Wise eu ainda acho que ele tem pouco espaço, mas a Deadlock com certeza vai aparecer.
Iso y Deadlock creo que van a ser dos personajes que no se juegue mucho, pero sí siento que va a haber equipos que lo vayan a jugar, equipos que crean su propio meta y buscan la comodidad en sus jugadores.
Maybe Loud will pull it out, who knows? Those guys are always ahead of the meta. Maybe they know something we don't.
I think any pro team could play whatever they want and they could win on it. Of course, you want to think about it to get the best comp for you, but you're going to be playing against a lot of different comps. And I think it's really cool from just a game design perspective. Just all your agents are good, and pro players will play all of them.
I don't think I've ever heard more conflicting opinions on a piece of content we've ever made than that one.
The amount of Deadlock and ISO 100% being played.
So good. I saw ISO 100%, and then the next sentence was I don't think we're going to see that.
I think Mazin thought that was for his opponents, and they were going to listen oh yeah, maybe we should play ISO every map.
I mean, that was kind of the C9 strategy in the offseason. Pick Deadlock and people think it's real, but it's just absolutely
and also another thing that I had noticed too is in regards to we saw a lot of that Sky play yesterday, and you were pointing it out rightfully so. A lot of it still was played relatively the same, so it didn't feel like, even though the changes were significant.
By the way, we have some liars out there. MW, I don't think Sky can be played as a solo initiator.
What did they pick yesterday?
What did they pick yesterday?
Sky solo.
Couldn't be me. See, look at that. Fraudulent lies.
But I think you're onto something, and maybe the players, they need a little bit more time, because we have to remember this patch came out, 2, 3 weeks ago? They had no time to adapt to this, so there is a world where they are just on these agents for now, but give them a couple weeks time, they will slowly try to incorporate it, because I don't think we're going to be seeing solo Gecko. I think that's the hard thing to bring in. You need some flashes next to it, and solo Sky, please get it out of here.
I feel like what's important in this tournament isn't necessarily getting the meta read correct on your first game. It's by the time you're in elimination, you're towards the trail end, being able to find the groove and bring that into Madrid if you're one of those top teams.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And we'll see, of course, how all this plays out. But let's get into today's match, shall we? Talk about Sentinels, the first team. And here's the deal. If you hosted a LAN, they probably showed up in the offseason. Way to go, guys. Getting those miles in there. It was good to see them do their thing throughout the offseason, but this team is remarkably different than what it was last season. And we're talking players, roles, the whole shebang.
And saying Sentinels last season doesn't really narrow it down, because this team was a vortex. They had 3 different rosters throughout the season. They were picking players up and down. They were switching around their coaching staff. They never found their identity.
Did they get more players than wins last season?
It's highly possible. I'm not sure on the math of that one.
I don't know. I'm running the numbers.
I'm not looking forward to your mentions, buddy.
He loves Sentinels now. Just to give
he's a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, but for this team, last year, even during interviews, Ten said that he thought it was a disaster last year, and that this year it has been a complete reset. They built the team from the ground up at the start of the offseason. They've been playing a lot, practicing a lot, and the whole talk of the town has been them finding an identity and sticking to it for the season.
All I'm saying is this. I mean, look at this lineup. Tens, Zelsis, John Cutie, second, as well as Sasi. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better situation. Yes, obviously, you do lose out on a big player like Marv. Pancata not being there. Also, I'm sure is going to sting for a lot of the Brazilian fans, but Zelsis definitely brings a lot to the table for sure, Ender.
Oh, absolutely. Bringing in Zelsis now, Tens, the role swap going away from Duelist.
Yeah.
There is so much to be done, but also
mission accomplished.
They did it. They got the team.
We did it. We made the team. This is happening. They have accomplished it.
HW, calm down. We haven't.
They did it. Look, Mimi, they accomplished.
What did they do?
They accomplished. Duh.
They're Kickoff champions. That's what they accomplished. Wait, but we haven't. They haven't played a game.
Guys, okay. We've
Guys,
seen
I'm a
super
Sentinels
teams
fan.
rebuild.
Mission accomplished. Okay,
That's
great.
not true.
Prove me wrong.
Okay, but they haven't played a match. There's your proof.
Yeah. How many
point of this?
Sentinels hoodies do you have?
I'm not at liberty to disclose that number.
I saw you
often do
wearing
you
a
watch
100
10
Thieves
stream?
hoodie when you came into the studio this morning.
I plead the fifth. FIF, by the way. Plead the fifth. FIF, the fifth. Anyway, let's go ahead, though, and talk about Sentinels' year, right? Because this could be Sentinels' year. That's what the mission is accomplishing here, people, is that this
Okay, well,
could
that's what
be
they're trying to
Sentinels'
accomplish.
year.
And I'm going to be honest, they haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But this is the Sentinels
I don't like your
roster
negativity.
that I have faith in. I've never said that before, I don't think. But I think this is the roster that can achieve something. The biggest reasons I have faith is this is the first year where Kaplan from the outset is head coach, got to build this team. He picked up his old friend from Ghost Gaming, John Hutey. I thought they had a great read of the game when they were playing together back then. They were meta innovators. They were ahead of the curve. They built something really good. Now they're back together in another moment where the meta is shifting, where you have a great cast of players. It seems like they are set up to succeed this year.
It's in so much a way where Kaplan can now fully build that system, because you hinted at it, but like they were the ones that innovated the phase raid. They're the ones that pioneered that throughout, and the phase comp. Yeah,
Fade
absolutely
raid.
love it. What did I say? Phase raid.
It's impossible not to.
Oh my lord!
I thought we escaped that.
It's absolutely impossible. No, but honestly, I also think that one of the things that Ghost Game was so good at, they were the most disciplined team in the league back then. And I think if you can take a roster like this and put them in more stable positions, right, with a 10 off the duelist role, you can put together a fantastic team.
And the thing for me, if I was a GM in the offseason, the first player I would look at if I was building an English-speaking roster in this region is Zelsis.
Yeah.
He's not the best individual player in the league. He is not the biggest star name. But the reason he would be the guy I went for is because of the way he lifts his teammates
He carries
up.
himself incredibly well,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people oftentimes undersell that because you always think like, oh, it's what's in the server, it's what's in the server.
But look at how he performs outside of the server. He was the guy who was put in a position with rookies on Cloud9, and he lifted them up. When Jake was at his lowest, Zelsis was there. In interviews, these players have all talked about that Zelsis is the guy that gives them a reason to play, a reason to scrim, that always reminds them what they are playing for. You need someone like that who can be the emotional leader and who also can be so flexible and skilled actually in the server.
And in day one, that's going to be important. But in months 4, 5, 6, that is where Zelsis, it's even more, right? When things aren't necessarily going perfect for you, when you're in a tough series, et cetera, Zelsis can be that guy to step up and fit in to this new Sentinel system.
Yeah, and also when you kind of paint broad strokes on the new Sentinel system, one of the things that sticks out so quickly, TenZ. This guy has made a dramatic change, and I think if anything, it's very mature. It's very professional. It's the right call. Naturally, a lot of ace players would always try and just keep going, keep trying to make the dream happen of being the best opper, being the best rifler, being whatever. But TenZ, knowing that he has those skills, can provide value in other roles.
Yeah, and it's shocking because of the name value, right, to see TenZ make that move. But it's not like we haven't seen it before. You take a guy like Asuna going away from Duelist, going into an initiator slot. It just makes a ton of sense. TenZ himself has spoken about how much more stable he feels playing in that position where you don't have to be seeking out the first engagements every single fight, right? You're going to be a way more consistent player. And on top of that, well, if you're slotting into a flash role, you know exactly what your Duelist player wants. You know exactly how to support them. The agents he's been playing, Omen and KO, also aren't your sit in the back type of agents too, right? Like Omen of all the smoke agents wants to seek out fights. KO of all the flashers wants to seek out fights. So we are still going to see an aggressive style TenZ, not at the same level, a more tempered, but it's a sweet spot he can fill.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, he himself is bought into this. I don't think he wants to be just a star duelist anymore. In this interview he did with Pedro Romero, he was mentioning that exactly what you're saying. Switching to the role makes him a more consistent player. Being a duelist is so volatile. It is so hard to be the guy always having to go in, to risk your life for the team, to do all that, especially when your team is struggling, when you're dying on the entry over and over again. It's hard to recover. And I think that his playstyle is much more suited to being, I think when he was at his best was when he was like the backed up opper, working for the team, playing on defense, not always having to be the dive agent. And when you have someone like Zekin on your team, who for my money, is a top 3 dive player in the league, why not make that switch and find an agent where you're more comfortable?
Yeah, and especially it's good. Like, it's not like the opping is gone necessarily. You can still be locking in an agent like an Omen on a map like Lotus, bust out the op and lock down a site super easily.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see how this team coordinates, especially with the new pieces that they're putting into place here. But let's go ahead, though, and move on to our inaugural America's Champions. It's Loud. Now, even though they finish out 3rd at Champs, the stocks were high for this team. Everyone was excited. But I'll be honest, losing Aspas, good Lord, that's a hole. That is a massive gap that you're losing out on this team. And that means that this Loud roster has a lot of hard work ahead of them.
That is not something you can just plug and play or replace. It does not exist, and it cannot happen for you. And for a team
we saw the same thing with NRG when they lost Ye and then brought an artist for a very similar role.
There is no one else in the world like Aspas.
Yeah, there's no one like Aspas, and it's yet another year for Loud where they're losing big names from the roster and having to build back. They managed to do it in 2023. No, they didn't lift the ultimate prize internationally, but regionally they got it. Lock-in, runners up, 3rd place at the end of the year. They bookended the year perfectly, but now again they have to pick up those same pieces.
But if I have faith in someone to build back better, it has got to be. It has got
my vote. Let's get you going.
Anyways, it has to be Sadak because he has done this so many times before. 2022. Builds a championship squad, goes on to, win champions. 2023, 2 of his best players taken away. He brings up rookies. They go on to win Americas, to go on a run internationally. He just has to do it again. And you could doubt him,
he just has to do it again.
But he's done it twice before.
Oh, if he does it a third time, we need to bake this guy a really nice cake or something like that.
A cake?
I don't know. It's just something pleasant.
You think he wants a cake? He wants to win champions, dog.
Okay, a trophy, that's also a cake. Anyway, moving forward, though, for more on this roster, let's actually send it over to a new member of our broadcast team. It's Elizabeth, who's standing by with Sadak.
Is it a cake or is it a trophy?
Sadak, if I have a quick word with you, what is your approach coming in as the reigning America's champion?
No comments, thank you.
Oh, no, wait, one second. The box.
What's in the box, bro?
What's in the
What's in the box?
That's actually Aspas. They're bringing him back for another season.
Does he fit Aspas, you know? I didn't know he was like a little mini-cron, like a transformer that they get like put inside of a suitcase.
That's all the strats.
Yeah,
that's how he does it year after year.
Yeah, right. He's got the notes. We have to find out what is inside of that case. But Sadak, once again, as we had noted, finds himself in this position of having to rebuild after losing key elements of his team. He gave us a great quote on that as well. Aspas, just like Sasi and Picada at the time, are unique players in what they do. So it's not like we're trying to stop or catch a player who does the same thing. And worse, we try to get a player who in his role is different. So that actually brings me to an interesting thing about Loud. Last year, Fraud was telling me about how they were really focused on getting duelist players and then educating them in different roles. And I would imagine that this is kind of like the playbook that he might try and run again.
But it has to be the opposite now, which is what's so weird.
That is true.
Yeah, because you can't do the one-for-one hot swap, right? It just isn't going to happen. So I think that while, yes, you obviously want to find the best talent, what Loud are really trying to do is adapt to the players that they are finding. They have proven over the years they are a highly adaptable team across different metas, patches, whatever. So now, yes, you want to bring a new player into your system, but you also want to see their strength shine through. And that's not going to be the same that you got from an Aspas.
And that's an interesting position that Quick is now put into. On Furia, he was a more supportive player. He played Viper, he flexed around, but I think that's exactly what Loud was looking for. They realized we're never going to find someone better than Aspas, 1-for-1 in the Jet role. So they found someone that could fit into the system, could play anything, and could adapt. But the question is, you have all these pieces who are all having to adapt around. You're still going to need to find someone who can be that star, who can step up. And it's going to be really tough to find that identity now.
The expectation is someone else will have to take that.
Who's that player, though?
Quick is the site anchor, and that frees you up to other things. I think Les is a guy that can absolutely step up in another role. He was already, when you're looking at the Haven comp that Loud were so good at. He was so good at finding openings, even on the Killjoy, walking out down mid, out garage, C long. Like, that was the secret weapon in that comp, was less not bunkering down on a site, but walking straight down at you. That was playing to find early fights, so he could do something very similar through this year.
That is also going to require him to, change things up, though, especially considering, what they're going to need to maneuver in order to make all this work.
But 2 years, Les has been in the shadow of Boss. I think he's been a top 5 player at international events that Loud has attended. I think he was top 5 at Champs 22. I think you could even make that argument for Champs just last year in 2023. This guy is so incredibly talented. He has some of the best just raw mechanics of any player you can watch. The question is, how does that transfer over to the Duelist? If that's even what he's doing, because we don't know.
Let's make the assumption that it is Duelist. I know with 99.9% certainty, him on defense, beastly, untouchable, right? The question is, for me, how does dive affect that, right? When you're having to work satchels in and coordinating with teammates, because him on his own and him playing, simple trades, all that stuff, the fundamentals, everything is picture perfect. Of course. It is a much different challenge to work in and lead the charge on it.
Real quick, though, do you think that there are any alternatives that they could potentially run? Or right now, it's like you kind of need to have that point man player that you can put in that position?
I honestly don't like anyone else taking the role. Like, I think Les was one of the guys that was taking the most early fights. Sodic sometimes did too, but I don't want my IGL taking that on.
Incident.
No, absolutely not. No angel incidents. I escaped. No. And then, Colin Tui's, no, they're so good in their own specific roles that I don't love it.
But they were top-level Tier 2 Duelist players at the time, and I love them both in their roles, but also Les is world-class in his role. I really think what it's going to come down to is who wanted it and who wanted to take that risk in the team.
I would put it on Tui's or Kalenzin more
Counterpoint.
Counterpoint.
No Duelist.
Oh, man, that's what I wanted to get to that part. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Cor, go back to Europe.
Well, let's, since we're talking about counterpoints and strategies, let's go ahead and talk about the IGLs facing off yet again. Sadak and Saucy, well, they I would say John QT is the IGL for Sentinels, but regardless, so Saucy is standing across the stage of someone he won a world championship with yet again. And different circumstances this time. Doesn't have Pencata next to him. Instead, it's a whole new setup. And it's going to be fun to see these guys clash once again.
There's a ridiculous amount of international champions in the lobby today. So many of these guys have gone on and achieved great things. And in the past, when we've seen this matchup between Loud and Sen, we always knew Loud was going to win. Today is different. That I think these teams can be pretty reasonably be expected for either of them to win, which I think makes the kind of reunion of these two Brazilian champions now facing each other in the server all the more interesting than what it was last year.
It's the champions facing against each other, but also with a lot of time since we've last seen them. And also brand new teams building up around them too. So yes, it's the matchup we've seen before together and against one another, but it's a brand new deal.
Well, look, I am stoked either way. It's going to be a great game. But, there's been a lot of discourse online.
There's something more important, I feel.
The streets have been talking, I was told.
Yeah.
Not the streets
The
again.
streets are Twitter. We're talking about them again because we've got a segment cooked up. We saw this last year. We're seeing it again this year. Loud Sentinels, they've got some fans. They like to talk. And we're doing fan or fraud. I've cooked up some of the greatest tweets from the fans of both of these teams. It's going to be really
I like the Photoshop edit of your hair. It makes it seem like you have like a bowl cut.
I'm also an egg. It's gone. It's gone. It disappeared while reading these comments. And also, I have written some fake ones to go along with this. We're going to show you 2 tweets on the board. One is real, one is fake.
Play with us, chat.
These two, and you guys at home, or over there in the Riot Games Arena, are going to have to guess. Let's pull up the first one here and see what the fans have been cooking. Okay.
Wait, what is
smart lol. I love it. The second one is at Valley Sports NA. I cannot stand this Mimi person. I am muting the stream.
Now, here's the thing, right? I know you.
Okay.
And I know that you worked with Kurt on this.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the fraud is A.
But what if there's another layer of game theory?
I know for sure B is the fan because they typed Pezron instead of person.
Oh, sorry. Pezron.
Yeah. Also, no person has ever capitalized the first letter of a sentence and then gone all lowercase for the rest. Like, how do you still have that setting on your phone?
It on a phone
no, but you always turn that setting off.
Just click shift. He's so wrong.
all the
Let's
time.
find the winner.
Which
one is real?
Oh, okay, yes.
fraud?
Yes.
Yes.
I knew it.
All
Wait,
right.
wait, I said
don't
that
like
was
this.
a fraud.
Yeah, you
Oh,
were right.
I was wrong. Was I
No,
right?
you were wrong.
Oh, okay, I was wrong.
You were right.
Yeah, you were
Wait.
right.
No, I was not
Okay.
right.
No one was right. Everyone was wrong. Let's go on to the next one where maybe I can remember what
Actually,
they
no, the
guessed.
person that said you're a fraud
All
was
right.
right.
A. Zelsis, my kitten. Keep grinding.
That's
I
real.
wish you the best. Many
That's
people
real.
are saying this.
Yeah, many people. That's
are saying
fan.
this. B.
Okay.
At Zelsis, dress up as hot
I know
maid
that's your
for
alt,
walk.
GB.
What, the hot
Don't
maid?
interrupt me.
No, sorry.
Oh,
Don't interrupt me. At Zelsis, dress up as hot maid for your walkout versus Loud.
So
Which is real, which is fake?
I saw Zelsis today.
Is he dressed up as a hot maid for his walkout versus Loud?
I can neither confirm nor deny, but
But what
which
would
I'm
you-
doing a
what
lot
do
of
you want?
today. I'm gonna plead the fifth yet again, and I'm gonna say that that is the fan and A is the fraud.
You think A is the fraud, Chris?
A is fan.
A is fan. They're
And
split
there's
again.
dozens of them.
There are dozens of us. Let's find the answer. Bada bing.
There we
bada
go.
boom.
I honestly just wanted to like make the idea that Zelsis could walk out in a maid outfit be a possibility.
It's still possible.
It's still possible.
It's still possible.
At minimum, cat ears.
Yeah, actually, could someone please just tweet at Zelsis and tell him that? Thank you so much.
Well, we already
appreciate you.
did. That's actually a real tweet I made. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the final fan or fraud here. This NA bias is ridiculous. Less is the best player in the world. Loud greater than NA. Cry more Sentinels fan. Or B. We spent all the offseason winning, and now we're gonna spend all VCT season losing. Let's go!
I think B is the fan, and that is coming straight out of like a over.
Is that a Sentinels or a Loud fan? I mean, it's Loud.
I think it might be both.
I
Yeah,
think-
Loud didn't win anything.
So you said B is the fan?
B is the fan.
I'm split. I'm going A.
We're splitting again.
A is the fan. A
Let's
is
find the
fan.
You don't even know the meaning of the word.
Oh, come on, man. I'm terrible at
let's
this
go.
game.
A single one, right?
Honestly, all I do is just hold L's. I held an L yesterday in
That's
the
tough.
1v1.
Well, the Loud fans are gonna love that, honestly.
Oh, look at that.
You
There
see
you
that?
go.
They'll love you.
I have to say, you know, we need more. We need more of this. You need to give me, we need more tweets. We need more content. You guys got to get out there.
So
and,
tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us or just
As
say
deranged
some
as
absurd
possible.
things.
Actually, it's called a post.
Quiet, go away.
Well, we still have a few more minutes before the match starts up here. So let's just go ahead and take a second to kind of like take a step back and really talk about these two teams, you know, holistically. And as a matter of fact, I did get word that picks and bans are ready to go. So let's go to that because our coaches are prepared. Let's see where we're going to be playing and where we're headed today.
Awesome throw.
So sides were decided via coin flip, and Sentinels will be team A and Loud will be team B. So Sentinels, you have ban 1.
Ban Icebox.
Sentinels ban Icebox. You have second ban.
Breeze.
Loud bans Breeze. And you'll pick first map.
Pick Split.
Sentinels pick Split. And which side? Loud pick Attack. And which map would you like?
Ascent.
Loud pick Ascent. And would you like Attack or Defense?
Defense.
Sentinels pick Defense. And then you have one more ban.
Yeah, we'll ban.
You have Bind, Lotus, and Set.
Ban Lotus.
Sentinels ban Lotus. And what would you like to ban?
Bind.
Loud bans Bind. And the decider map will be Sunset. And would you like Attack or Defense?
Attack.
Sentinels select Attack. So just to run back through real fast, Sentinels ban Icebox, Loud ban Breeze. Sentinels pick Split, Loud pick Attack, Loud pick Ascent, Sentinels pick Defense, Sentinels ban Lotus, Loud ban Bind, and then default map was Sunset, and then Sentinels pick Attack. Best of luck today, boys.
Thanks. Good luck. Good guys. Good luck.
We see the series layout. Last map, Sunset, if we potentially get there. What do you make of this, Ender?
I mean, I would love to see the Sunset actually come on in. I am really interested primarily in the Split pick first, mainly because I think of all the maps, Split is the one where playing the Sky is like not so bad. Like it's a lot harder to bring in like a Fade or a Sova, for example, into the mix. And I would love to see our Ghost Gaming power duo return to some roots here. Maybe minus the Fade, but getting those raised breach comps in there would be lovely to see again.
Sentinels were making some tweets in the offseason that they were considering not
They're
running
always
default
making
comp
tweets
on
in the
Ascent.
offseason.
Okay, they're always doing that. But they said they weren't going to run default comp on Ascent. And I think there is real potential to try something else, maybe.
Do you think by doing that, they have now baited Loud into picking Loud? Or like, you're not picking default comp, LOL.
Loud does know a thing or two about not picking default comp and losing on his
Okay, now we're talking.
They're the experts. You can't beat them with that.
This has the chance to be the greatest day of Valorant ever if we see Ascent and neither team plays the default comp.
Ooh.
That is honestly the best thing that could ever happen to the game.
Hey, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I say it all the time, but I'm stoked. This is going to be an awesome day. We got 2 fantastic matchups with 4 teams that are just clouded out the wazoo. It's going to be awesome. So let's go ahead and get this day started. We got Sentinels versus Loud, Leviathan versus 100 Thieves. Day 2 of VCT America starts right now.
And second back, blocking one. Oh my God! Big back to Rhyme instead, but he's gonna go swing. VCT! Oh my gosh! When you're 2-0 down and didn't really have a chance, like you know, that by é campeão do VCT América! Comienza a avanzar en el ¡Larga vida al rey! Eliminated the defeat of Aspas. He is not being... Stop really fighting for his season. No! Position for Flashy. Oh my God! Stop like even one! Now into 1v1. Individual fight. Just waiting. Victor swings across. Wait! He's gonna get this. Shorter. 4 seconds. He's gotta go! Oh my God! For James to strike just enough time. Is this another tense moment? The swing is there. The shot is 2 from 10.
Primeras tormentas.
Pecho. Por la segunda. And we are not done yet. G2.
It's a death roll. EU trying to hang on to it, but no! It's Trent to find the final kill!
The same old story. The winning squad gets dissolved the moment they win and never gets back to what it was.
Hold on. I'm here.
I'm here. Eu tô aqui. I'm here.
Tô aqui.
Eu tô aqui.
I'm
here.
I'm here.
I'm here. Eu estou aqui.
Eu diria que estou sentindo um pouco o grupo da morte. Nosso primeiro inimigo é Sentinels. Esse ano agora eles têm um reforço que é o Sean QT, que é IGL muito bom.
Compared to our 2023 roster, we have a better map pool infinitely than before, and overall, as a team, we feel just better.
É um time que vai ser muito difícil de nós enfrentar, um time que vai ser difícil de nós enfrentar na estreia também.
Loud is a fantastic team, and they've shown that they're really good and always competitive.
It will be a hard match for sure. But if we're capable of showing our game, we can actually get the win.
Riot Games Arena, Sin City is in the building. Make some noise for your Sentinels! introduce your VCT America's defending champions. Let's get loud!
We got a packed house with two powerhouse organizations about to take the stage with 10 of the best players in the world set to clash against one another in what is surely going to be an epic confrontation, and it's only day 2 of Kickoff, Ender.
Oh, it's gonna be good, and I don't know, I was split before, but I think Vansili convinced me. I'm getting loud, baby. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I can't wait to see what their looks are like on new roles coming in. No OSPOS and versus Sentinels of all teams.
The stories here are just incredible. Loud has to do it again. They are on top. Their roster gets reset in the offseason, and Sadak is in another position where he has to make it work with new players. But after doing it twice before, it feels like no one can doubt him. On the other side, for Sentinels, this is a squad that has always been the joke, just the clout, just the team who's fun to watch. But now they finally have a roster that looks world-beating. And the question is what they can make of that.
They've had the roster, they've had the time with it. We're gonna see TenZ off the duelist role on the big stage, unless they do the funniest thing and just pick 2 duelists here on Split to start it off. But no matter what, it is going to be a good game. I think this strong group, probably the strongest of them, I may go out and say. I like this series right off the bat.
I feel like you'd be a fool to not say this is the strongest group. We have so many great teams debuting here today. And really, for me, the question about Loud is what are the roles? What is Sadak's read on the meta? Because he is always the guy who is ahead of the curve, who is coming up with those ideas.
Which is a hard thing to do.
And seeming to always just hit his stride.
Yeah, it's impressive that it's such a difficult thing to do, and yet he has managed to do it multiple times now. Like to build these teams, have to, figure out what the meta would be, and obviously he has great resources, good tools, a great coaching staff, across his career. It's not just him, but when you're in that server, he's the one. The buck stops with him.
He is the constant of Loud throughout it all, right? He has been at the center throughout their dominance.
He is Loud.
Yeah.
He's the guy who has
It's his face and the logo.
Yeah, through the highest and the lowest moments of this team, it is always Sadak as that leader. He's playing against his former teammate, Saucy, on the other side. They won champs together in 2022. And last year for Sentinels, what was much more disappointing? This is the redemption arc for the players that were on this team last year.
All right, well, we got ourselves the agent select. Let's see what we end up getting. I think, for a lot of us, we know what Sentinels are going to bring to the table for the most part here. What is Loud going to do?
Yeah, I mean, that will be the question. First things first, we see TenZ on the Omen. The Omen and the KO is mostly what he was playing with in those off-season events. And on Split, it makes sense.
So he's sticking with controller.
Less, I think, is the telling pick. What he is on, I believe will end up defining.
Okay. I do quite like this because the suspense is definitely building. Whoa, so Les is going to be running the Viper.
Viper, yeah.
Okay, so now the question is, who picks this up? Paladin or QCK? Huh?
I feel like it's going to be quick at this point then.
Possibly. I mean,
Sadak, though, he did love the Gecko at the beginning of last year. This meta, there's a chance to do it, but on Split, you're just going to go for the classic.
Yeah, and on Split, I think we're going full control. Both comps have double smokes. Now we have John Cutie on the Cypher, which it was always going to be the Sentinel for him coming in. It's possible to run without the Cypher. Yesterday, we didn't actually we didn't see the Cypher coming on in, but yeah, Sadak going over for the Sky here.
Okay, and we get the Raze pick that's locked through.
Assuming that's going to be Zekin.
That will be for Zekin, and now the question that we're all waiting for. What is Breach okay for Kawenzine?
That means that we're going to see Quick on that primary duelist. Most likely the Raze being locked in here. They talked about they picked him up to be a flexible player, to swap around the roles, but it seems like they are just trying to slot him into some of those agents Osfos was playing.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a big challenge for him in game one to jump on over for that.
Notice the difference, though. Last year, Loud always built their split around Jet, having Osfos as a solo anchor, locking down sites. Now they're playing more into this control comp, double initiators, double controllers. It relies less on your duelist to be an insane star and more on his utility, which I think is good.
The difficulty with Loud's comp is they have no information. They are playing no Cypher, so they can't set up those trap plays that you normally would be in your Breach Raze style of comp. And with the Sky changes, you have 2 flashes and a dog. On defense, that makes it really hard to get mid-round information to flush out the lurks that you know the other team is going to be going for. Sentinels with Cypher and Viper are going to be looking to work up both extremities.
I'm excited to see New Jersey's last hope on display again here in Americas. Zekin, for my money, is the player who has just the highest skill ceiling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that about anyone because I love making a bold statement, but really, this kid is so talented. When he first started playing, so incredibly young. Now he's spent 2 years at the top level in Tier 1, around great players, and even when his teams have struggled, he's always been stellar individually. If this Sentinel squad can meet the hype, I think this is the opportunity for Zekin to be on an international caliber roster, to get those opportunities that he had all the way back with XSET, to show how good he is in front of the world.
Look, Sentinels, they got the 2 players with disease, but they are about to wake up Los Angeles with our first match of the day. This is going to be epic.
Oh, yeah. And I also want to let everyone know at home right now that we're just got a little holding pattern for the second here, just making sure everything's all, clear and breezy and good to go. Okay, all right. I don't want anyone making any Reddit threads.
No breeze. It's not breezy. We're going to split.
That's true.
Don't say the B word.
Yes.
I don't like breeze.
Wingman works for Sentinels?
Does he?
Apparently.
When did that happen?
It's a secret agent. I love it.
Yeah. He's just constantly double dipping. Love to see it.
On the Sentinels dime.
We got a packed crowd here today at the Riot Games Arena, of course, so it's going to be awesome. And you know what? As a matter of fact, why don't you guys go ahead and give me some noise for our casters, because it's now time to jump into the action. We got 2 guys who are always so professional. It's Bren and the Silly Goose.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's get it started then. Loud versus Sentinels. Josh, I got questions. Today we are going to get answers with both of these teams. You got Sentinels on a bit of a redemption arc, honestly. The off-season, they were making full usage of it. Loud, a no-show in terms of the events. We really don't know what to expect with this squad.
The thing is, though, we know that Loud have been practicing since October. These are the 2 most practiced teams in Americas, as far as I can tell, based on how they approach the off-season. And both teams were making moves to try to retool how they approach the game. But we know what Sentinels have done. We've seen the development over off-season tournament after off-season tournament, and the hype has been building, and the fan base are believing. But for Loud, they've been quiet. We didn't even know what roles they were going to be playing coming in here. And now we get their first look at what the new squad is going to be doing with a double initiator, double smokes, no Sentinel, and I think Mimi's point on the desk really key. No Jet, probably no big op kind of role coming out from QCK. More to do with how the team is going to function together. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Having said that, though, take a look at the pistol round here. Loud look like they're set up for a very empty A site. This could end up being a bit of a retake just in round 1.
All grouped up. Ramp is the goal. Skydog's going to be paving the way. Maybe some space to be granted to them, but no, they change the directory and their sight's set now towards the site.
Trip broken.
And here it is. Satchel's in play. Obviously, it's an open site entirely for them, so they're going to be able to get the plant down with no problems at all, but it's a 5v5 retake now, and they're fast of it. Dog cancelled.
Yeah.
He has cancelled the dog with that one.
That's pretty sick. I mean, decent post-line positioning as well from Loud. They're not all just grouped up claustrophobic on the site. This fight for A ramp is going to be massive and...
Oh, that's not good.
He drops.
Concoction a util just to clear him out of that corner, and the smoke is really pesky as well. They can't get through this one. QCK has to try and make something of this one, but already just assaulting onto the side as well. Tells us it's just diffusing. He's sticking this all the way, and no one is home. Sentinels with the pistol round. Yes, I mean, consolation prize at the end with the kills from Les, but okay. What a beginning.
Tens with a nice smoke there onto the spike towards the end. Not even mattered though, because Loud positioned so many players off-site over towards ramp. They just couldn't refight for Heaven. When you plan for Heaven there, you're hoping that you can take ramp control, get up to Heaven, and play the post plant from that angle. And Sentinels flooded down ramp with so many people. Only John coming through screens. I think both of these teams, though, looking like they've got good ideas, good protocols of how they want to approach.
Not slowing down here. Rapid taker to be main control.
Yeah, but
it is just an eco. Yesterday
and today, we're seeing teams barely invest into these second rounds. Oh, apart from Cloud9.
Oh, Cloud9 were doing it relentlessly.
Cloud9 were still force buying like they hadn't seen the meta shift. But all the other teams seem like they're fairly content to just let people go up 2-0 after winning the pistol.
Ooh, double face of the classic, still dangerous. On the 1-for-1.
And they're sneaking out. They're sneaking out.
Yeah, all the way through. The flash does connect though. Sassy almost caught on away. He's low though, and the damage! Holy, okay. John QT seeking to equalize it, maybe make it a little bit more even. There's a lot of damage being done to these Loud players. We're going to have to get this plant down, pushing the position. Close quarters with the Stinger. 2 years favored with it. Down to just the one. It's Celsius. Doesn't stand a chance.
Loud just with classics in hand have been able to mop the floor with Sentinels. What a gorgeous call to contact out through the B main smoke. Sassy was caught with his pants around his ankles, so I have no clue what was happening there. And this double face into B Heaven to set it all up was beautiful teamwork, showcasing that, you know, if Loud maybe want to play more of a team-oriented style rather than trying to load things into their due list, they have definitely got the skills and the discipline and the practice to make that work. Sentinels now reeling classics back for them. Economy completely flipped.
Fully reset. Here we go, nade sends flying here. Boombot to the side just in case players that close. There's another nade to deny that space just for a choke point, but are they going to slow it down? Question laid out now for Loud. Instead, over into ramp, into Heaven. Feeling it out. A lot of noise being made by Sentinels. They might not want to walk into this one, thinking it's a stack.
They would be right.
Exactly. So still just picking them apart, though. Playing it nice and slow here. Looking for the easy pick. Oh, oops. Lucky to get that kill, but okay. 2 years adjusting it.
Good read.
And everybody topples.
Very well done by Loud there. There was certainly danger. Sentinels had all 5 players in places where they could have caused chaos. 3 on site, 2 pressuring from vents, and Loud were slow, making sure that they didn't fall into any of the defender utility, didn't run into crossfires, just meticulously picked apart what Sen were going for.
10s. Still gets it.
Well, there we go. The classics are doing work today.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, off the back of this weird flip-flop of the economy, we now get our first rifle round, but there's a big difference. And it's that Loud are so much closer to their ults than they would otherwise have been, right? Normally in your first rifle round, you're not gonna be anywhere near getting Seekers or a Breach ult online, where actually Loud, with 1 kill, a plant, you know, maybe an ult orb, they're really fairly close to having a massive ult online that could instantly put Sentinels back down onto an eco.
Yeah. Bit of congestion here towards mid. Orb dropped. QCK hoping he can get a freebie just for the spam.
This is less contesting over towards A ramp alone, while the rest of his team takes early B main control. And Sentinels have changed where the Cypher's playing. John Cutie was playing A in most of these early rounds, but now round 4 swaps over to B. The cam's already been broken. So Loud will now know where the Cypher setup is, and Sadak seems to be calling for Kawanzin to pick up the spike and head back over to A.
No ground gain though by less.
Look at the rotation from Sentinels. They think it's over towards B, partly because that cam's been broken, partly because of this take of B Heaven.
Yep, sending out this util is going to make them really think about it. But second, well, rips the head straight off QCK. Stunts the push entirely, which was intended to pull players over towards the B site. Now A, it's just Sassy really close onto the angle here. There's going to be util meeting him wide, running backwards, wants to retreat and really regroup with the rest of his team here, but they have given up a lot to the site and Heaven.
Get him.
But an ult online for Zekken. Maybe that showstopper can be
planted.
And an ult now online for Kawanzin, bro.
Yeah, okay.
They could use it towards screens here. Might be murderous.
Paranoia showstopper. There's the ult straight into the sky. Flashed up. Dodge. Zekken still holding for now. Biding his time, but finally brings down Kawanzin, thinking he was safe round to the side. Here we go. Sadak, he's late for it. Is he going to be planning for him onto Heaven? He needs to win that fight out, and he does with 2 years by his side. Heal online as well. One more play, but Seconds defusing. Seconds defusing. Seconds defusing. Nothing to stop it. The molly too late.
Very reminiscent of the pistol round there. Again, Sentinels being able to just stick the defuse on A. Loud have clear post-plant ideas, but the battle over A-Ramp and Heaven is being contested so heavily by Sen that Loud don't get Heaven control. They don't get that angle to spam the spike. If Les had thrown his snakebite just, a fraction of a second earlier, though, that entire round could be different. I think this round's so interesting, too, because Sadak out-called John Cutie, but they don't win the round off the back of it.
Yeah. We're beginning to, we are rapid off the approach of a lot of these rounds. There's an opening. Okay, Tens denying the space. Les was hoping he could catch a cheeky one.
No fast reaction anywhere else on the map from Loud, and Zekan's watching here. The Boombot giving away his position, and they've smoked to try to get in, fake teleport. Tui's threatening that he could be inside that smoke, but John not buying it for a second. He's got trips inside the smoke. He's not worried.
Creeping and crawling all the way into Heaven here. Trying to make no noise at all, just holding the appropriate angle. He met with 2 of them. Jiggled by Zekan. That's going to offload the nade. Push them back out of space. Okay.
They give up the switch setup and just trying to establish themselves onto A. This is the right call. Making the read.
A lot of rotations from Sen. They are really stacking us now with a lot of bodies here, but they're walking all the way up. Zekan still deals with Sadak still from the side as Cowers in. Only just claims the kill. Eventually there in the end, still Tens. What a ridiculous move from him. It's 4 in the round. He seals it up.
That super precise aim coming into play there from Tens, winning his duel over towards ramp against one of the most mechanically gifted players in the world, and then mopping up another 3 as he goes to help his team on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be so fun to watch Tens in this new role, I think. He's talked about it adding more consistency to his play. I'm looking forward to the weird TikTok teleports all over.
Yeah, that's what we missed.
Anytime Tens is in the game, you are going to get highlights of that, because this guy's mechanical skill is through the roof.
That's nasty. We're already into the round as well. A couple of seconds being played. Smokes drop down, no real action. One thing to note here, B main control being given up pretty heavily by Sentinels. It hasn't been costing them though.
No, it hasn't. And I would expect to see Loud fighting more heavily over A ramp, giving less that the Boombot, the blast packs, maybe the dog to work with as well, so that they secure A ramp at the start of the round. But instead, they've just kind of left the Viper over there, and I don't think Les is going to be able to contest.
Because popped off here towards mid. Just in case it is a split, but it just pulls the util out, and it's pause caused by Loud. Pumping the brakes.
Look how passive these people are positioned over towards A. If Les had chosen this round to go for an aggro lurk.
This angle by Zekan could be disgusting. He's adjusting, still gets the one. Yeah, traded out though. But still, there's the refight into B main. One more player though, 2 years tucked to the corner. He's got the best of him. QCK on top of it with the rocket.
Tens actually went for the ult there to try to get behind them in B main and had to cancel. So now Tens and Sassy are coming through the normal way. In a player disadvantage situation. Tough for them, but they do have utility. Double flashes.
Close plan's really nice though. One player backside, one player Heaven is flanking as well. Paranoid sent wide, doesn't connect. Chance for Sassy, but he needs to secure the kill, and they don't know where the rest of the players are. You can feel how difficult this is. They don't have a lot to work with. It's gonna have to be the double face, but here it is, the wraparound. Les, the insurance policy. As I was discussing earlier, I mean, that post plan, as soon as Les is in that position with the wraparound, it's basically chalked.
These rounds are so interesting. I mean, Loud are focusing on trying to dismantle the way that Sentinels are holding on to B Heaven and B main. This round, Celsius decided to go aggressive in B main and just didn't account for the second player being there.
Yeah.
And I think at some point Sentinels might have to try to hold on to B Heaven a little more. Loud are getting mid control and B Heaven fairly easily, but it is difficult to stop this comp because it has 2 initiators.
See a pit into mid here. Loud, a lot of disrespect showcase. They are taking ramp control off the rip. Trying to set up though to meet them. A bit of a kill trip as well. Set up to spam that if somebody did walk into it. Might not be expected for Loud.
Some of the plays that you want to make when you take a ramp control like this involve pinching the person in vents. That's really tough when there's a Viper's pit there.
There's
into the trap.
Yeah, trap wire. Did the job, didn't it? Despite the fact that I think he got pinged out, there's another one straight through the choke as well. Dealt with not quite. Second. Flash didn't connect. Les is in the site now, but they don't have heaven control. This is really quite awkward. TP into the back of the site. That's 2 years. So gaining a bit of ground. They don't have the spike there, though.
No, all of this focus on A heaven has allowed them site access, but like you said, they've got to get Kawanzin in.
They've got to cross. TP up close, holding the nades. Not anticipated. There's the kill. Running away now. Retreating back to the team. Lovely trade by Sassy, I think, through the smoke. And Zelsis wrapped all the way through. There's Sadak dealt with. Now you just have to contest with this pit.
The spike is not inside the pit either.
Bit of an unusual one. Dog broken. Could come down to just RNG spamming all the angles, hoping for an easy kill. Ollie to the side. Paranoia now. Sent flying here. What is the call for Sentinels? They need something on board. That is it. Surely the impetus to win the round. Kawazin cannot do it all.
End of the day, that paranoia from TenZ might have made the difference. There was a huge amount of utility being poured into the pit, but it was the flash that actually pushed Les all the way back and into the corner. And once he tried to get back into his own pit, Zelsis was there to cover. A bit of a mistake there from QCK, who otherwise has been playing very well. Tight with the team, good coordination. Just gave his life away a bit too easily against a trapwire that, as you say, Bran, I think they already knew was there. But that was a tough round because Zelsis denied the mid control with the pit. That's not a tool that Sentinels now have access to again. But Sadak continues to shift his ideas. Instead of taking A ramp, now they go back to an early take of B main.
Flashes on both sides here, just trying to set their players up. Do have that B main control. Feels like Cloud are working with infinite money, almost. Another buy.
TenZ has just used both of his smokes within the first 15 seconds. He is quite vulnerable on B right now, because he can't throw one for himself or for the choke point.
Holding the paranoia. Open the jump spot, we'll see it. Stun, does it force anything out? Yeah, here's the satchels now. He is in danger, not quite. He is the danger, apparently.
Yeah, well played. Just being able to stop that from being a threat right as his smokes come back online.
Stalled them entirely. Seeker's used just in case. 50 seconds left into the round. Room to pivot, but okay.
I think the Trailblazer blocked half of those bullets.
Yeah, meeting it head on. Only 3 players left standing now. Loud probably going to be resorting to contact plays or maybe even saving. 2 years does have money to buy for the next, but still going for this.
Les is lurking out B main.
Wow, what a shot. He was pre-aiming for the jump spot still. Onto the site there, Sassy, only the one to be gained, and a reposition by TenZ now. Into the B main control plant, just a tap, seeing what they can force out. There he is, in and out of hiding. TenZ is making it so damn difficult for them. Satchel pushing him into the sideline to the rest of the team. 5 for 3. High octane round so far, Josh.
And a high IQ play from TenZ as well. Instead of choosing to just stand and fight, they give B, but he secures a really important position where he's playing a crossfire from the rest of his team who are going to be over towards CT. I mean, awesome round by TenZ. Unconventional, and I think that's what you've got to expect from him on Omen. He uses both smokes right at the start and then uses his paranoia and teleports to win the rest of the round. Flashy and creative.
Yeah.
And now Senna's starting to pull away. Loud's economy is knocked down.
Getting more and more difficult. And the ults get built up as well on the opposing side. Through mid here, Sadak's taking so much damage, it's being covered. TenZ collecting an easy one there. Stun. Forced him away. Paranoia. Just about missing here.
And I think TenZ had to dodge that flash too. I believe the stat was from last year, he was the least flashed player. Like, he could turn the flashes
reaction
most mechanically out of all the players.
Yeah.
Cracked.
2 years. Always found himself deep within. Fox in the burrow. Here's the count on QT.
Cage triggered.
Chance there. More than chance. Assist on the high ground. Will deny any entrance towards A. With the spike drop down. It's a freebie, granted. Sen should be winning this round now. Let's just hoping to try and do some damage maybe to the economy.
which is flourishing for Sen. Yeah. They've had a bunch of rounds here in a row, knocking Loud down. And it should be mentioned too, I think the map pool here is amazing for Sentinels in the series overall. In the offseason, from what we've seen of Sentinels, they were 4-0 on Split this offseason, and then they've been 7-1 on Sunset, the decider map. So if you're a Sen fan, you're looking at maps 1 and 3 thinking, we should have this.
It's almost home territory. I mean, of course, it's the double-edged sword where you've given away footage over the course of the offseason. Loud could have done their homework. It's probably the reason they let Sunset through. But so far, it hasn't been going according to their plan. I've seen now, you know, the timeout here for Loud. Trying to take a pause in the moment, see what they can do about this lead that's just gotten away. Sentinels 6-3.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that they could try to accomplish a little more is to have aggressive lurks coming through off the back of pulling Sentinels. It might be difficult for Sadak to get a read on this, but from what we've been able to see with access to the full minimap, Sen are happy in the mid-round to try to gamble on the site where they think Loud are ending. And so that means that they're actually opening up gaps on, you know, A sometimes for somebody to lurk in. Now, Les, whenever he's tried to play aggressive on the lurk, it's been at the beginning of the round when Sentinels still have aggressive positions, the dog to work with, that kind of stuff. But if Les tried to make a mid-round or late-round aggressive lurk up a ramp, it could be really effective. The question is, can Loud get a read on that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. It's a hard one when you have limited information. Obviously, they can only see their own POVs. Ult online for Kawazine.
Yeah, of course, one of the other strategies that they could go with the breach out is just to send it and try to win the post plants out. They haven't been able to get the plants down with some level of success.
Holding the stunner position for Ram, Flash. And here we go, forces out the showstopper, just really clipping the heels of Les.
Very good bait there. Loud knew that that was coming.
Good protocols in mind. Backing away, even got the Sky heal as well, so Les back up to 100. Meanwhile, taking a mosey at mid, it's QCK. Granted a lot of space here.
And these are the kind of timings where Sentinels are tending to fall back on A instead of holding aggro positions.
Maybe this is the read.
Yeah. Loud are getting a lot of space for free.
Just walked all the way into heaven. Now the trip's broken, so they're aware that there's at least one player here, but other than that, they've cut noise entirely.
And Sen have got 4 people on B. They're so happy to play retake A.
Close dropped. Ooh, trip counter spam. John QT almost getting punished for it. Here we go, trying to walk in. Zekken, he's out wide here. Sadak trying to get the plan off. In the meantime, QCK, he will fall. Zekken retreating.
So now, the post plan. It's been going wrong for Loud. Sentinels have been able to deny them heaven control and then stick the defuse. Loud have got to make sure that can't happen again.
All groups up, need to show no hesitancy here because they still have that breach shot. Rolling Thunder going to be doing work if they take their time. So Sen needs to get a move on. Zekken, again, man, just pressing W and somehow just ripping the heads off these enemies all over the place. Still low, a single shot will do it too. With the whiff as well. Celsius, he wins his fight out. Still going to worry about these players though. Ducked onto the side, that's Kawazine, a flash up top, but it's smoked off. Tens sticking to the fuse, running into it. Kawazine, that's 3, that's 4. Will he get the ace? Yes, he will.
What a round from Kawazine when his team needed it the most. That looked like the same thing was going to happen again. If Kawazine had not been able to delete people as they swung through that smoke, there is every chance that Sen would have just been able to crowd it, stick it. They did such a good job of flooding into sight, denying heaven control. All the retake protocols worked. Just Kawazine had a monster round.
Yeah. That's our iBUYPOWER ace as well. Follow him on socials, giving away a PC for every single ace in VCT Americas. Good beginning here, it's a 6-4. Loud feeling like they're rejuvenated, I think, a little bit back into this.
And so they've established Les in an advanced position here, but they haven't stayed with him after the dog has been used. I mean, Sassy still has dog here. Les is so vulnerable to being flushed out. How do they think they're going to get away with this?
I've got your
Paranoia. Trying to fight him now, double faced up. Yeah, he's just caught into the corner.
There's just no way. He needs more help until Sassy uses the dog.
They're just walking up here. It's been held. Kawazine needed to hit that shot. If he didn't win that out, that would have been troubling. Although catching that one, aware of Sadak at least. Maybe making some noise. And another chance here. Celsius removed.
Shadows.
3v3 now. Again, into the post plan. Sen all grouped up into heaven. Oh, jumping in with the shorty! Just taking it straight to him.
That's so good. What a read. Perfect play.
Played this one out, though. Are they aware where the rest of these players are?
Exactly. Kamanzin's still in that anchor's position where he was able to win the round before.
GCK close. Second. 36 health. Just pausing for about a moment. They haven't cleared it. No way!
What a win.
It's going wide.
That's a tragedy. One of the first moments where you're questioning QCK, otherwise having a fairly good game. But Loud had chances still to win that in the 2v3 if they'd held on for just a moment longer. And yet both avenues of that defense crumbled at the same time.
In the half.
This has been very back and forth, but at the end of the half, Sen might again find another way of pulling ahead. Because now Loud's economy is in a bad spot. I gotta say, Sentinels' protocols on how they're retaking A look
really
sublime.
good. Yeah.
They look so good.
Noticing that in the offseason. Clearly putting a lot of time into it. Just pausing in the right moments, nobody getting ahead of themselves, overheating.
Yeah, having a great idea of where Loud want to fight over, denying them control of that.
Yeah, and now final round of this first half. Celsius is built up to another pip, second one. Sentinels are really good at adjusting their defensive protocols as well. When they have the pit online, that's a fast approach. Grip in his face, doesn't walk into it! John is so damn aware! Almost getting a triple! Sadak being bursted down. An attempt to try and as well push Celsius out of this pit! What is that? Ridiculous!
What is this round? John and Celsius just whacking people through smokes. If Loud had any hope in this round, it got dashed instantly. Choking.
Might as well use it. Neural there through the wall. That's a flawless round.
What a half. You definitely saw what Loud were going for. They found a lot of success in being able to get to sites. They were using their composition fairly well, and they didn't get punished by, like, the lack of Sentinel particularly. At the end of the day, I think Sen just outclassed them there with that defensive half. I guess more of the question is, if Loud start playing aggro with double initiator on defense, does it change things up?
Well played, boys.
Hey, Breach ain't doing that in the match, though. He ain't doing that in the match.
Sit it down to the desk.
Sentinels looking great out there as they're up 8-4 as we go into the half. And, you know, there were a lot of question marks coming into this, but I think one thing you can safely say, that question's been answered. Sentinels look good.
Yeah, and the question's also been answered. If you defuse the spike without being killed, you win rounds. And that's what we saw in round 1 and 4. Literally, Sentinels just full stick defuses and get 3 rounds in the first and fourth, which started the half off like Loud could have really gotten out to a good start.
Yeah, and Loud, I feel like this first half looked like a team that wasn't quite there with synergy. Sentinels looked so incredible in playing together. In those retakes that you're mentioning, I was so impressed with the way that these players were ping-ponging back and forth, even when they were in these late rounds, kind of losing out from those Sky nerfs and not having all the util they would want to retake. The way they're kind of ping-ponging with the Omen Flash to set each other up and get back into the site was really good. And also, Loud, I think, making some mistakes in these box plans.
Yeah, just not getting back in time. But then from these 2 rounds, Sentinels also realized, hey, Loud are trying to play very heavy off-site for ramps and for heaven control to get the late wrap round and shoot you down from heaven. So then, in the future A retakes, they fought for those areas really hard. So instead of full, flooding out through screens, we have another round later in that half where they're leaving players up in heaven to contest that fight, to fight on the flank and deny ramps as an area. Those 2 fights are one up through heaven, so they can very easily deal with the 2 remaining players.
And you have to give a lot of the credit there to the new IGL, John QT. He had some great reads this half. Even that round 12, adjusting to that fast play they expected from Loud and being able to punish that was impressive. And when you go along with the great teamwork, you are also having your players pop off individually. It's so good. Tens, he's looking so good on this Omen, not dropping a beat after switching off the duelist role.
Yeah, Omen looked fantastic, and the Sentinel split was defined with their retakes and with their mid re-aggression. They always found those picks and put them in a great spot.
Well, we're gonna flip sides, and now it's time to see how Loud managed to bring this one back. Or will Sentinels close out map 1, send it back over to Bren, and once again, the Silly Goose.
Well, me and a silly goose going to be breaking it all down for the second half. This pistol round is going to be bloody important. To be honest, for Loud, they have been really floundering when it comes to the gun rounds, the first kills. They've been losing in almost every metric. But a pistol, fresh start now as we get into it.
Very cautious beginning here from Sen, not wanting to step into any kind of trap play in mid. You've got to be cautious about that when you're playing against a breach. But at the same time, Loud don't have Sentinel utility to trigger it off, so it's got to be off someone's contact.
Potentially the flash, if it does connect. So actually jump spotting for now, though.
Yeah, I mean, this little attempt at a trap setup should be off QCK's contact, but they think Sentinels are not even in mid. Sen are just hanging out in market, you know, perusing the goods, seeing what wares are on offer.
Taking their time with it.
40 seconds before they even decide to dog up mid.
Might come to bite them, but they do have B main control. Looks like that's going to be the goal now. Setting their sights towards it. Paranoia goes flying. QCK with a nade as well. Try and get them access and entry into the point here. Sen do have control of it, but no control of Heaven. Might drop down, have to get the plan online. Looking a bit indecisive in terms of how they want to do it. Second, Smokes are going to start to fade.
30 seconds.
In a minute now, yep. So he just retreats into B main just in time. Sassy's out wide, alone. Doesn't really have any other help for this one. Loud might be just set up now for this retake. Flash dropping down, clearing one section of the site. This is getting precarious, it's getting tricky. Just a tap as well, seeing if they can force out a lot of the fire, a lot of the util. Once more, damage being done. Ten's a little bit confused, and Tachuna's teammates double-faced. And Loud are cleaning them up now. This time, Sadak going for the stick. Smoke just about waiting all the way through. Connecting John QT. Gets the diffuser, but it's already half online. He just needs a bit of damage done! Get down, Mr. President!
The smoke timing there from 2E's as well bloomed just enough for them to be able to get the first half, and then he's able to jump in, finish off the other. And like you said, two really funny moments there. Ten's shooting his teammate in all of the kerfuffle as people were weaving in and out of smokes. But yeah, I mean, one of the big problems for Sentinels in the post plan is that they didn't have an additional threat. They didn't have anyone going for the late lurk.
Yeah.
They didn't have Heaven control. They just ended up playing backside, B main, and then when Kawanzin and Sadak have two flashes between them, they can't really stop Loud from going for the retake. That was what Loud needed, though.
They really did. Gets them potentially back into the map, but even past this point, we're going to be expecting them to win this round. If they can win the bonus, even better. They haven't been good on the gun round, so jump spot. Seeing them all here, now making their moves as well. That's a stun, but right into the shotgun, it matters not. It matters not.
We said this in the first half as well. Oh yeah, they've only got pistols. It's only a classic.
Completely turned around after shock. Unfortunate for Kawanzin. Less.
What an aggro play.
Yeah.
Really smart. And at the same time now, Sentinels, John Cutie calling the pivot into B. The B players are pushed out main, and now they're wrapping around, so the flank is happening on the flank.
Flanks on flanks here. B main control has been wrapped around by Zekken again with the judge. The plan though down towards main. Again, they have given over Heaven control. It's unlikely anything that really comes from this round, but at least they get the plan money. Here's the Utah once more. One player slipped into spawn. Who's that? Is that Sassy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
might be the difference maker. Exactly. And he's still there, waiting for the right time to strike here. Zekken taken out. Shot down, either way here with a Paranoia sent flying. Tens was seeking to try and take an early fight here. And Sassy this entire time, biding his time. No one has tapped onto the spine whatsoever, clearing it forwards. There's the one! Not quite!
It was a cute idea. And you can see that Sentinels are still trying to come up with ideas to win the round, despite massive economy disadvantages. But Loud have brought the lead back down to only 2. They're going for a bonus. Ooh. And this is what Les is known for, right? You heard Ender talk about it. The fact that he can anchor, he's an amazing anchor, but he's also going to choose his timings intelligently to push out beyond where you expect him to be.
Old watch party getting Loud. Push down mid. Aggressive is the play here. Paranoia flash. all being combined, and well, Sentinels are just running away. They're like, okay, they're taking the space, the call is made, react, potentially take some A space.
I think they would have reacted had Les been hit by the Trailblazer, but he managed to dodge it. And now Kawanzin is in.
Oh, no way. No way. Kills have to be claimed here. Sentinels are just trying to walk their way in, but they don't have heaven control again. Les towards the back of the site. The Satchel's through it again. They don't have heaven control. Two's just going to be facing them. Second, trapped into the corner. Out towards the side. Les, this guy is a demon. You can't remove him from it. And Tens and Zelsis are last two left. Try and pick up the pieces and make something of it.
Tens is trying to see over the top of the wall.
Toxin screen down.
It's the health that's the problem as well.
How to judge close quarters. Sadak about to turn him into mincemeat. All it takes is one shot. He's got 3 more in the chamber. There's the jump spot. There's the second. So 8-7. Bonus round conversion for Loud is excellent. It's exactly what they needed. Start getting into the gun rounds as well. The economy's reset for Sentinels ever so slightly.
And that's a bonkers round from Les. It might not look like it because he really only gets 1 kill with the Sheriff, but the call was from Sentinels to try to react into A. And they were too scared of Les and any potential assistance that he might have to commit to it. They dilly-dallied for just a second too long like silly little geese. And unfortunately, Les and Kawanzin made them pay for it a little. They bought enough time for the rotates to come through and crushed Sen.
Caused some difficulties in the Sentinels camp. That's what's forced out the tag timeout. Make some changes to it. Just don't get into a cyber track. That's all I ask. The signs have been good today.
Sentinel's newest VTuber.
Yeah,
that's that. Yeah, I think this game is delivered so far too. Loud looked like they might have fallen over a little bit. The first half was not amazing from them, though they had their opportunities and big moments from people like Kawanzin. But now, I think Sentinels have been most impressive in the offseason on their defense half of Split. I mean, the protocols that they built up there have been fabulous, I think. Now on the attack half, they've got a serious challenge, actually. Because they've got a Stinger in hand, 2 Bulldogs. The money is also not good, so they're forcing into this.
It's an odd one, yeah. Forcing into this. Feeling like they can't let it slip.
And that could end up biting them.
Really could. I would win this. You're almost granting them the lead. Outlaw purchase for Kawanzin. Potentially a big one with the amount of half armor targets. 1 shot to every single player on Sentinels.
They're trying to bait in B main. See if Sentinels will get lured into the trap. And then 2E's has a paranoia. The QCK, they've used it. They didn't catch anybody.
There it is. Yep, there it is. Outlaw finding value.
And now Sassy wants nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
It's like, right, well, we're getting 1 shot if we go to A. So let's not go to A.
The budget op working out.
And look, normally, your defense is really hampered without a Cypher to be able to get info. But actually, 2E's is just jiggle peeking this behind the Viper wall. They've got to push 2E's away from this angle in order to get anything done on B.
One drop TP! 2 years
into the anchor position.
Yeah. Not expecting him to really take that space as fast. Still, it's Sentinels that have to do the most in this spot. A flash. Swade's any chance of the fight. Sassy going to be falling as well. And as the smoke fades, there's 3 players to meet them. They are dropping like flies. Only left up to Zelsis.
30 seconds left.
Past his own wall, spots the one, sprays him down. But can he get any more? The answer is no. 8-8. And again, like I said prior, if Loud end up winning that, the economy for Sentinels now taking a tumble.
Yeah, massive hit. I mean, look, they didn't have a great economy even in the previous round. We were calling it out, double Bulldog and a Stinger. And it's not like they had a huge game plan or a set strategy that it looked like they really wanted to go for. It was designed to be possibly just a slow walkout B behind the Viper wall. I gotta say, I'm really impressed by Loud's teamwork. People were asking so many questions about what is this team gonna look like without Aspas setting the world on fire? Well, it's been drilled, disciplined, triple facing towards the end there.
Making good time, I think, of all the scrims that they've had. Going now. It's fast by Sen once more. They're sending the paranoia up towards heaven. Only 1 player on ramp though. That's second. Now onto the site. Stunned up. Flash over the top. Sadak's just wondering for the right timing. It doesn't connect onto anyone, but now the smoke's aside the drop and boom! QCK! He makes it go boom. Showstoppers there. They are falling and dropping all over the place here. Not a chance for Sen.
now take the lead. After being down 8-4 at the half, they've not lost a single round on their defense. If you looked at their comp, double initiator, double smokes, and said, do you think this is an attack side comp or a defense side comp? I think most people would tell you, well, it probably has its best chances on attack, the way that it overwhelms. But they're kind of smothering Sentinels. Sen now with their biggest chance. Huge ultimates available. The economy in a tender spot. They've got to win.
Yeah, this is where you really have to try and convert. Close to the corner. You told her, okay, Paranoia.
Too late.
Yeah, a little bit delayed.
If the Paranoia had come through just a fraction earlier from 10s, they probably would have picked up at least one of those.
So it's gone wrong once more.
Unless the player with some of the best crosshair placement with Vandals in the game has a judge in his hand and 5k credits.
I often just force the judge on this map.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
That behavior should be criminal.
Even when I have money for the rifle. It should be banning me. But it's just that good. Get some control of Mail. Seekers be pointing them in the right direction as to where Sentinels might be, but they're all grouped up into the main. Smoke now makes it even more difficult. 2 seconds left. When you're playing in a 4v5, your options are limited. They are running out quickly.
There's 45 seconds left. This almost looks like a save.
Yeah, it's feeling like it.
As mad as that sounds.
Unless somebody makes something happen.
It's these mid players that have got to make the difference. Without Zekken to be the tip of the spear, they need a split. 30 seconds.
Running down the clock. Walking in, and again, it's less there with the judge. Should be good for it. Only the one jumping over to the side. The flash doesn't connect. Pushing away though, Sen. Okay, 10s. He's actually going to be granted that space. And well, granted 2 kills. Towards the back of the side, it's still 2 years. He got to enough. Could have been the difference maker, but there's plenty of time, at least 3 seconds left to get the plant and more. Okay. John QT's even in a forward position, but he might not even be needed. The rest of the squad seems to have it handled.
Loud finally punished for not having that Cypher with the trips over towards B main. They couldn't watch all of the different areas that Sentinels are threatening with their Viper setup. Take a look at the later portion of this and how 10's got in. I think he's taken 3 bullets there as well, you know? And he's just walked his way in behind the Viper wall, through the smoke, slipped on in, and made the play. To save his team as well. That was an eco swing round, and he's given them their first attack side round here on Split.
Here we go, fast! Rocket! No kill! No connection, but this time he'll chase him down. The Stinger, it does the job. Fights hard in that scenario, still up close. That's going to be bloody hell. That's awkward still. Zekken manages. They've gained access now, entry towards the B site, and Heaven control is still there. John QT in this position, up onto the box. Does not shine away from it, wants to take the fight straight to them. 2 players left standing, good luck retaking.
Massive pace increase. We haven't seen anything like that from
this is, I mean, this is absolutely orb maxing. Look at this.
They got time to run over to A and grab that one.
If they wanted to. I'm glad they're not, though.
But that's huge.
Yeah.
Gets the Seekers online for the next round. And Sen now in a great position. They're not going to do too much economy damage. Loud have still got that online. And I think this is the first round where we're seeing QCK with the op in hand.
It is, yeah.
Which neither team are opting for too much. Neither running the jet, you know, would have been previously an absolute staple of this map.
Yeah.
When you see Loud play it in the past with Aspas. QCK is no stranger to the op.
He's not, but it's in his best interest, I think, to just hide with it, not reveal his hand.
Yeah, Sentinels don't know that it's even on the field.
The tracking of money, they might be aware, but...
I mean, in theory, maybe that was part of the reason why they accelerated so quickly in this round. Yeah. But I don't see how they could have quite got the lead, because Loud could have picked up an op at any point in the last few rounds.
Now they know.
They had so much economy. Yeah. But now that they know there's an operator there, going quickly like that, it works even better.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't have the Raze ult to be able to explode up mid and instantly take B heaven. But if you can figure out another way of being able to get up extremely fast and put pressure onto less in B heaven, it's a good chance.
Those opening picks, vital.
Good job. Fist bump.
Let's go. Fist bump.
I think
that's the end of the round.
I think Zelsis is talking about it there.
He's talking about the op. He's saying, now we know.
Now we know.
Yeah. So information granted at the end with QCK getting that kill. We're seeing that attack timeout of Loud.
I gotta say too, Sassy is currently at the bottom of the scoreboard, and there was much made of Sassy's Sky not being very good in the past. But I actually think, from what I'm seeing in this game, he's so much tighter to Zekken, the utility usage is really good, and even after the Sky nerf, he's really contributing to his team's success. The frags don't mean that much, as long as he's setting up the rest of his team. I think Sentinels have got a system here that's working very nicely, and every piece is contributing. They're now in the driver's seat, heading into this next round. But at the same time, you can go in either direction from here. There's no team that really has a major advantage. Even if Loud lose this, they're still going to be able to buy into the next.
Yeah.
And they're starting to get close to big ultimates. So Sen are not safe, even if they win this and get up to 11. It's going to be fought for tooth and claw.
Up, down, mid. Blocking off one of the avenues. Will this be spotted out? I mean, most likely. Sen know it's on the field. That's a jump spot. Watch for what a peek. No wallbang though. No damage onto Zekken. Both flashes used. No, just the one.
Yeah, one and then one on the other side.
Yeah,
Both,
yeah.
you know, one to push the op away, one to get the op back on the line.
Yeah.
And then Tens, with his smoke, makes sure that Sentinels have some level of mid control. It's B that's been the danger. Because Zelsis is putting his wall over towards B at the start of the rounds, there's a constant threat that Sentinels could just be walking out. Like right now, Tuiz has no idea whether they're all the way through.
I've got your trail.
Here comes the Seekers that Sassy built up in the previous round.
Through mid, I think all of them got bursted down. Dog broken. Denying info for Loud. They are quite concerned about the B lurk still. Probably waiting for the wall timing, yeah.
It looks like Loud want to fight mid and flush out the other side of this B hit.
Bloody hell, close to it. 2 years. Will he be able to get the second? Yes, he can. Collected and cleaned up.
Just individual skill there.
Yeah, no one's having to worry about it.
Now that they've dealt with the threat in mid, now they can focus on the B retake.
30
just
seconds
standard,
left.
focusing all in one direction.
Their advantage granted to him.
It's going to take something special from Sen. And Zelsis might be trying to make the play.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to try and push the spawn, but no, just holding close to the corner. Tens.
Go get him.
Paranoia now. Here's the boombot. Zelsis is pushing with this. This is absolutely insane. Just traded.
He was full blind with the op there and got the kill.
To Tens now. Tight to the corner. That is ridiculous. The adjustment necessary now from him in second playing together. He's brought it now just to 2 years. TP close into the smoke, but it doesn't catch onto the spike. They're not going to be aware. He just taps it, but they can see it. Not sticking it. And there it is. What a play by Tens.
When QCK sets up that blast pack double peak, the theory is, well, they're not going to be able to kill the Rays because they can't hit inhuman flick shots. So the second player should be able to trade. Meanwhile, what is that?
Meanwhile, Tens is on the other team.
Yeah.
My God, and the second and Tens at the top of the scoreboard.
Like I said though, Sen, not out of the woods yet. Loud is still going to be able to have a buy in this round. Loud still have some big ults in this round, and they're getting close to even bigger ones. So Sen need another one to put Loud down.
This entire map has just been non-stop.
Poison orb emitting.
As you said earlier, tooth and claw.
Toxin screen down.
They're just holding, waiting it out. Some spot for info, but neither side really seeing too much.
This time, Sadak has made sure to call for his team to fight aggressive over B control. They use the paranoia as the Viper wall goes up.
It's actually just straight in, just tries to adjust it with the movement. Not there, not enough. John QT. It's good for just the one. Still, it's traded. Player advantage remains now for Loud. TP towards the back of the side.
Sentinels want to play a disadvantage situation in just the prior, thanks to big individual moments. Sadak does not know where Tens is.
No.
I mean, he thinks A
don't
is
know.
presumably clear. He thinks they've ulted into B.
Yeah, I mean, look at the entirety of Loud. They're just holding on the staircase because they don't know where he is.
Blood is lost.
30
They're trying to
seconds
clear him
left.
out. Little did I know, A site entirely open. Be able to get that plant off, and now
It's Zelsis up in heaven, who's the danger maker.
It is. If Celsius gets one and gets out, Just barely missing it.
That's allowed QCK to get into position to
The
use his
info.
showstopper.
Does have that big ult. Let's try and clear out into the side here. Tens. ADS onto the angle. Will he be able to hit the shot? It's going to be a hard one. Out wide. Sadak from behind. Just absolutely destroys him. Now the showstopper. Lets it rip out onto the side, but he knows there's no players there. Him and Sassy now starting to play up towards heaven. Will the fuse still be there in time? Well, it's just all the tours. Wrapped it around. They squeezed the heaven players with enough time on the clock here to get the defuse.
It's good. It's not as pretty as the way that Sentinels had their protocols for the A retakes, where they denied heaven control completely. Loud were scrambling a little bit to get back up ramp and back from screens to deny the spam that would have come through, but they got the job done. And Sadak, strangely, ended up being in the perfect position to punish Tens. So the fight continues. Huge ultimates now, though, again available for Loud. This comp has so many of them. Game-changing ults.
That's what happens when you include the breach into the mix. Early stun. Allows Loud to walk all the way into B main. Fighting heavily for it.
Remember the previous rounds where Sen was supposed to be going for a reactive A, a fast A, and they were scared of less? It's kind of the same situation again. Less counting and defending A, but from really far back. And still Sen are a little timid about it, not committing to the site just yet.
Flash through, the wall's about to go down here. No connections though, no players in sight.
And now they've pulled 2Es over. So it's just got a little more difficult to get in.
What is the goal here?
I mean, how could you follow up on that breach ult?
There's really no one to do so. Zekken making an attempt. Walking into B main, attempting to clear it, but all that play earlier with the stun to set those players up. First kill given over to Loud. Sen looking a little bit hesitant, a little bit lost.
I think Sentinels are really struggling to figure out what the defensive setup even looks like. But they have pulled out miracles with time low before.
Two players backside in a high-low setup. It's going to make it even more difficult, especially with just the 1-2 years holding in CT. Drop down. Sassy is spammable from that spot. Looks like they don't want to do it. He gets off the plant. There's only 13 seconds left. This really does bring an opening. And yeah, there it is. The players at the back of the side have really just won this round for them. You have to stick it with the Seekers online. It points them directly towards the targets. And there's no chance now for Sentinels. Going to be losing these guns and losing the round. Loud. Even it up. 11-11.
Without even having to use the big ults at their disposal. So there's not even a silver lining here for Sentinels. They are going to be able to buy. And Kaplan's going to have his input. That kill there, QCK onto Zekken, defending onto B main, is massive. So big. Previously, Sen have been able to take B main control kind of whenever they want by just putting up the Viper wall. What an opener for QCK. Zekken is dominating in the first kills department, right? Sentinels are looking great there. But on the other side, you've got QCK going toe-to-toe. 21-14 for a player who, yes, has been a very good duelist in the past, but not recently.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
A long time. And actually, his performance was not that amazing last year when he was playing, you know, off-rolls, you might say.
It's one of the questions we had at the beginning of this series that I was putting forward. How is QCK going to be looking in this system without Aspas? And the answer is quite sublime so far.
Yeah, I think the coordination has been excellent. Definitely playing much tighter to the team.
Yeah.
But if anything, that could be a good thing for them. 11-11.
Still got the big ult. Kawazine holding on to the Rolling Thunder, hasn't been forced to use it.
And still actually quite a lot of economy. Both teams are going to be able to buy every round from now on.
That's with the ult.
Did he sell it again?
Not too sure.
Yeah, I think he must have done.
No, he's still got it. It's on the ground.
Still got it.
Yeah. No players over towards A though, so unlikely to get too much done unless they end up working their way back over towards the A side. But this time it's Sen into mid. A chance, but a util out into his hands. But
but more damage actually done to Second than taken.
It was.
Again, Les Cowanzine, the two players over defending A in quite passive positions, but it's really difficult to commit A against a breach ult. It's going to be able to buy time for the rotates at the very least. And once more, Sen lean back on the power of this Viper wall, trying to make sure that they get the best out of it.
Flash wasn't deep enough. It does eventually allow Zalsis to clear close into main. They're worried about his smoke.
There's 3 players from Loud on the
is
other
this a
side.
refight? They're close towards it. Wall up. They're going to wait for the smoke to fade and just going to face this one. Yep, Sadak's ahead of it all the way through. Sassy returns to fire. Different target though with QCK dropping in. The players from heaven now can do really the most. The flash blinding him. Sadak still close to the corner. He's got a third. 27 seconds left. Stunned up. Still Cowanzine finally arriving. The cavalry is here, but it's all up to Sassy. 1v2. Stunned up. Plant going to go off. But it is that 1v2. Seekers grounded as well. So there we go. Pointing towards the positioning of these players, but a doubled up, grouped up, wrapping towards the back of the pillar. It's being held! And it's not adjusted for it. Cowanzine, the playmaker there.
And the Brazilian fans
loving it.
Chanting against Sassy in the 1v2 against his former team. The darling of Brazil now on the other side, not able to get the job done. What a round from Sadak. Not only the read that hit was going to come through B main, not only the opening kill as soon as the smoke faded, but being able to get more from the B heaven push too?
Ridiculous.
While he was just out in the open. They go up to map point.
Big group up onto ramp, and this is it. Exactly right. Trust is map point. QCK. It was the actual day. He was hoping to maybe just get ahead of everything, but pinged out, waiting for it now. Sen in the util flying. There is that standing still, grasping them, and now the aftershock as well has pushed them wide out into the open where it kills. This time, it's a feed filling up with red. Sadak making the most of it. He's dropped all the way down. That is insane. 2 fast ones rips them apart. Sadak still alive with the see. Pick it up, son. Get the upgrade. Get the bloody back. Oh my God.
Who is this guy? Those final 2 rounds were electric from Sadak.
He's on fire.
He just decided to win. He simply decided, no, I think I'm going to win.
Nah, I'd win. I mean, absolutely incredible stuff from Loud.
Those final 2 rounds were not just, I mean, great like flood defending or challenging Sen as they go into sight, but just the raw skill was bonkers from Sadak there. And Sentinels, like I said, during the offseason, we saw so much development from this team. Split, they were 4-0, beating teams like PaperX, Liquid, DRX, Moist Shopify. They've taken their first loss with this version of the team. And it was a banger. It could have gone either way.
It was a banger. Really any chance as well. Lots of opportunities and still plenty more maps to go potentially, but you can start to see, a bit of an inclination, maybe why those maps got let through by Loud. A stepping away, but GP and the analyst test, they're going to break down map number 1 and we'll see you in just a few.
That was sick.
That was a really good map. Dude, our power ranking was correct. 2 best.
Rachel, you okay?
No. I live with a broken phone. I can't trade in.
Okay, that's dramatic. Better plan's Verizon. Everyone can trade in their old phone and get the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with AI on them.
A new phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Wait, I'm on Verizon. Can I still get it?
Yeah.
I gotta trade this in, right?
New and existing customers can trade in any Samsung phone for a new Galaxy S24 Plus, watch, and tablet, all on us. That's up to $1,800 in value, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.